Many years back, I read a book called Black Boy. And I read this book because it was David Bowie's favorite book. Now, in reading that book, I understood racism in America towards black people. The entire book is about a boy's life and how it was to grow up in a racist America where black people were completely submerged and there was slavery and people were coming out of slavery, and the annoyance of being in that position. Because when you're a 6 year old boy, you don't really look at the world as black and white. You look at the world as yourself and other people. So you don't understand why you are treated differently, right? Um, by reading this book, what happened is that I began to identify with, not identify, but I began to identify, I began to understand and mirror the reasoning of a minority. Now, because I began to mirror and reason with minority, I understood that oftentimes when people who are in subjugated classes, when they try to get out of it, other people often drag them down. That's so the author writes that that's often what happened in the black community when the black men tried to rise above, other black men didn't quite like it, and because they could not face the oppression, they found it much easier to hate on people who were trying to get out and be different. Because if somebody was doing a good job at standing out as a black person, the other black people would drag them down, claw them down to their own level. And this kind of thing, you can call it hypocrisy, you can call it crap culture, it really went on and still goes on in the black community. Now, interestingly, feminism is also, because now I understand minority behavior and behavior of a minority or an oppressed class that well, I also see similar things happening between women. And when it comes to feminism, I think it's a very important thing, but it is so easy to misunderstand feminism and what it is supposed to represent. You see, women often, you will find that women, up to a certain point will behave all prim and proper, certain women, but they will really look down on somebody who they deem as promiscuous, who they deem as flashy. And I think it really comes to a very baseline understanding of the world. And if you really, really try to understand the world, you might be able to get to it. But most people don't have that empathy and patience and forward looking and nature. So you see what happens is that oftentimes there are these flag bearers of feminism in our society, and they try to um, you know go all for women power and all that. But these people often, in their dull moments, they gossip about other girls and what the other girls did. Oh my god, she's such a slut. Oh my god, you know what, you saw what she was wearing. Oh my god. That is not the true spirit of feminism. I'm not an advocate for feminism, but I'm a true advocate for a clearer understanding of this world. And so I feel when one woman drags another woman down on the basis of superficiality, or whom they choose to sleep with, or how they choose to live in society, or what they choose to post on Instagram, I think it is a drift away from feminism, because you are doing that very thing which is stalling the growth of that particular social hub of women. And interestingly, many years back, John Lennon, he sang a song which is "Woman is the dash of the world." And I never quite understood that song until I took a keener understanding to how minorities work and how minorities dysfunction and are not able to get out of their most elementary habitat or life situation or social standing. What am I trying to say in all this? I'm just trying to say that feminism is not a bad thing, but but this constant need to you know, prove that we are better than the other person and to negate what the other person is doing, that is not cool. A few years back, there was a girl who came on Big Boss. Her name is Neha Bhasin, and I really liked her in the house. But today, if you go to her Instagram posts, you see her, you know, posting a lot of body images of herself. And at first, I was like, WTF? But then I realized I'm doing the same thing. You know, I'm judging her on the basis of what she's posting. I really identify with her personality and her character. But by doing this, I am being a hypocrite. So I told myself, you should not think like that. And if you truly want to achieve greatness, you have to judge everybody on the same exact axiom. It is very difficult. I often find myself taken, you know, or giving into communal feelings. You know, I'm human at the end of the day. But I find we fear that community which we do not know and relate with. We take it from our generations, from our genes, and that is second-hand knowledge. When I was 18, I was bereft of any kind of fear. But as I'm growing older, I'm 38 now, I'm beginning to understand that not being able to understand anybody makes us fear them. But that is not the answer. The answer is to have a truer, better, clearer understanding of this world. Peace.